Manfred's doing a Pauper proposal. They'd say they wouldn't be done again. Boros Allies, this is an update because Avatar: The Last Airbender set gave us a lot of new allies, and this is just a ramped up better version, I think. But basically, we've replaced almost everything from older sets. We still have Ondu Cleric and a Koam Battleslinger, 4 of those each. Battleslinger haste, and when allies enter, they get +1/+0 haste, and Ondu Cleric is the same but for life. And then Pretending Poxbearers. This is the most important part, right? This deck is supposed to have lots of allies come out. Pretending Poxbearers, when it dies, you create a ally, so it replaces itself. And then Treetop Freedom Fighters and Kyoshi Warriors, both when they enter, they create another 1/1 white ally, which I think is really good because it's a double trigger on all of these things, or at least on these 2 things. Next, basically I'm trying to do some sort of a graveyard synergy type thing where we use Jolted Awake, Recommission, Faithless Looting, and Thrill of Possibility to fill up the graveyard and then return things directly from the graveyard to play, which actually works pretty well. I've just play tested this a bunch, and it's interesting. I don't know if that's the right direction to go, and that's where basically you'd have to try to go through it yourself to see what I'm doing wrong and see what else we could do to make this better. There's also, see, of course, I've got Reprisal in here. The big Pauper meta right now, there's a lot of creatures with power 4 or greater, and maybe it's better to have something that destroys something with toughness 4 or greater. For the Murmuring Mystics that are 1/5s, those are hard to deal with. Same with all the Tolarian Terrors and all those other things that Nyxborn, Nyxborn, the enchantment. Basically, things get big, but then you play against a red deck, and it's just every single creature is like a 1/1. So Reprisal's pretty much useless in those decks, which kind of helps with Faithless Looting. You can discard it, but then it kind of sucks. So Reprisal is kind of a sideboard card. But like the sideboard, I'm having a hard time figuring out because, right, we've got this ally that sacrifices destroy an artifact or enchantment, which I think replaces, it's like an annul type effect, get rid of the artifacts because there's a lot of artifacts right now in the meta. And then Pyroblast Red Elemental Blast because there's so much blue in meta currently. Relic of Progenitus, of course, you need to exile the Tolarian Terra decks, graveyards, which is super important. And then Breath Weapon, of course, for all those freaking Boggle decks or whatever it is. And that's where I'm like, I don't know if I should just keep something actually in the deck and swap it for the Reprisal, or get rid of Reprisal altogether. That's what I've been trying to play with. The deck just needs more interaction, and maybe that's just swapping Reprisal for just a classic Lightning Bolt. Lands, I need to run more lands. Every single time I play, I do not have enough lands, and it really shows. And I just don't know what it is. Like half the time I'd play Faithless Looting and Thrill of Possibility, and it's just like, draw 2 cards. Oh, I'm just going to discard the 2 cards I just drew because I don't need those, or they're like 3 costs or whatever it is, which is crazy because there's only, 6 creatures in the whole deck that cost 3 or more, but somehow I always got them. I'm like, I want to be discarding Ondu Cleric and Koam Battleslinger. So yeah, this is it's the bad news about this deck currently in the current Pauper meta. It is too slow. It is a really fun deck. I think it can go off pretty hard if the opponent runs out of steam too fast, or if they don't have an answer right away. You can kind of run away with things. It's like, oh, gain a life. Oh, another one comes out. Gain 2 more life. Oh, gain 3 more life, right? And it stacks, and that's what Freedom Fighters and Kyoshi Warriors plus Pretending Poxbearers, right? It just replace itself. They all just stack really nicely. So if you have a Koam Battleslinger, right, and do a Treetop Freedom Fighters, all of a sudden you've got +2/+0, and this one's got haste, and this one's got haste, right? And so it goes pretty hard. But again, it's all about having the lands out, and I just never had enough lands. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, trying to figure out where I can fix this. What in the deck are you guys seeing that's going to make a difference? Kyoshi Warriors maybe, because it's just so expensive. I used to have the Avatar Enthusiasts and the, where did it go? Oh yeah, the Zhang's Deserters, which are both really cool. When they enter, they put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, which is pretty good. Well, this puts a +1/+1 counter on itself, which actually kind of sucks in the deck. But yeah, replacing, so I swapped in Pretending Pox Bearers, which replaces itself, which is better. But there's still, I just feel like there's still something missing, and maybe that's just blue for card advantage. Because, you know, forecasting Fortune Teller, you know, you get the clue, so you get extra card draw, or whatever it is. Or maybe it's the Glider Kids, because we need flying at some point, and this scries 1, and then we can get a little bit better. It's not technically advantage, but it's still better than a lot of what's going on. It's just hard to figure out. And out of the 6 games I played against Tolarian Terror 3 times, and I played against Red Rally 3 times, and I won 1. Like out of all 6 games, I won 1 out of 6. Yeah, it was not good. I got my trash kicked in. Let's see, I'm looking at my sheet right now. I got skunked 3 times. It's like I didn't even touch the opponent 3 of those games. And then Tolarian Terror is such a broken and just so streamlined deck. It's just hard to get through. And that's kind of where I needed to swap these out, but it's harder to sideboard in here because you have to like swap it and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, that is the update to the Boros Allies. I don't know if it'll get better. Well, you know what? It will get better because you guys are better deck builders than me. So let's keep that in mind. And thanks for joining me. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers and Milkman Proxies, as well as the TCGplayer affiliate link down below. And I'll see you guys next week for your weekly dose of magic.